waiting for the first of two moments rich in symbolism in St. Peter's Square and the inauguration of Pope Francis. This was the imposition of the pallium, made of lamb's wool and sheep's wool, and placed on Pope Francis's shoulders. This recalls the moment the Good Shepherd carries his lost sheep on his shoulders, and it signifies an act to officially start the pontificate of Pope Francis. The Good Shepherd charged Peter to feed his lambs and his sheep. Today you succeed him as the Bishop of the Church, to which he and the Apostle Paul were fathers in faith. The thousands gathered in St. Peter's Square then watched as the presentation of the Fisherman's ring took place. It was presented to the Pope by Cardinal Deacon Sodano. Today you have succeeded the blessed Apostle Peter as the Bishop of this Church, which presides over the unity of charity as the blessed Apostle has taught, he said before placing the ring on the Bishop's finger. Peter, of course, is the fisherman apostle, called to be a fisher of men. The papal ring was chosen by Francis himself and is made of gold-plated silver and depicts St. Peter holding the keys. Hundreds of thousands had flocked to Rome for this inauguration of Pope Francis. Foreign leaders gathered in the crowd in St. Peter's Square for what was a simplified rite, fueling hopes for change in the Roman Catholic Church. Earlier, to the sound of silver trumpets ringing out "Tu es Petrus, you are Peter," Pope Francis processed to the tomb of St. Peter. The Pope, along with patriarchs and major archbishops of the Eastern Rite Catholic churches, there were 10 in all, 4 of whom were cardinals, made their way to the tomb to venerate it. This is following in the words of Christ, who said to Peter the Apostle, "Peter, you are the rock on which I will build my church." It was, in the glare of millions watching across the world, a deeply personal moment for the man who, when he was 17 years old, after going to confession on the feast of St. Matthew in 1953, felt what he called God's mercy in his life and the call to the priesthood. Pope Francis, the first Jesuit to become Pope, processed out of the church in a column of cardinals, chanting a litany, calling for support for the new pontiff from the saints, including several previous popes. Earlier, the day had begun when the Pope met the crowds who had gathered in St. Peter's, gathering in the square from first light to catch a glimpse of their spiritual leader. It was a time of joy, and it was a time of personal moments for many in the crowd. He toured the crammed St. Peter's Square in the bright sunshine in an open white Jeep, abandoning the bulletproof Popemobile used frequently by Benedict. Many in the crowd said they had high hopes of a more humble papacy under Francis, who as a Jesuit has taken a vow of poverty. He is a simple, humble person. He's not like the untouchable popes. He seems like someone normal people can reach out to, said one person from Argentina. And the Pope reached out to many in the crowd, to young babies, to the old, to the young. And in one significant moment, to a handicapped person who'd come to the square. Others talked of their hope. I think he's going to fulfill his promises. He will lead the church based on the example of St. Francis. You can already see he is a down-to-earth Pope who mingles with people, said another person in the crowd. Chants of "Long live the Pope" rang out, mingled with the bells of the Basilica. It was the day the Bishop of Rome officially became the new Pope.